Hello everyone, in this lecture we're going to learn about ovule and its structure and different types of ovule. This is a flower, and if you bisect the flower, you can see this structure called as this whole thing is called as gynoecium or pistil. It consists of ovary. This long elongated tube-like structure is called as style, and the sticky portion is called as the stigma. So if you cut the ovary, you can see the ovules inside it. If you observe these ovules under microscope, it will appear like this. So this is the structure of ovule under microscope, and it has this. This is an embryo sac. Inside the ovule, it is present. So let's see what. Let's see about. Let us learn about the structure of the ovule. So this is an anatopous ovule, which is commonly present in the endosperm, and it has the opening called as micropyle, and the basal portion of the ovule is called as a chalaza. The nutritive tissue which is present inside the ovule is called as nucellus. The coverings which are meant to protect the ovules are called as integuments. So these are the structures. These are the integuments, okay. And inside the nucellus, you can see embryosac of the female gametophyte. So in the embryosac, what are the cells present? Firstly, antipodal cells. This provide nutrition to the developing endosperm as well as embryo. And in the beside the egg cell, you can see the synergids, wherein you can see the filiform apparatus, which are finger-like projections, which helps pollen tube to that, which helps pollen tube to direct towards the egg cell. And these are the two cells which are present in the central region are called as the polar nuclei, and this will fuse with the one of the male gamete to form the endosperm, which is prepared in nature. So one of the male gamete will fuse. This egg cell takes part in the reproduction process. One of the male gamete comes and fuse with the egg cell to form the zygote, and this zygote will develop into an embryo. And from the embryo, you can see the structures called as pinhole and radicle. So this is a whole process describing the process of reproduction. So this is a flower consisting of both male and female reproductive structure. The female reproductive structure is called as a gynoecium. It has an ovary, style, and stigma. And so inside the ovary, inside the ovary, ovule is present. And inside the nucellus, which is a nutritive tissue, you can see the megasporous site, which is also called as megaspore mother cell, and it is diploid in nature. And from the megaspore mother cells, megaspores are produced, which are haploid in nature. So megaspores are produced in tetrad. Megaspores are produced in tetrad. But only one of the megaspores are functional. The other three get degenerated. So the functional megaspore produce the female gametophyte or embryosac, or it is also called as megametophyte, and this contains antipodals, polar nuclei, synergids, and the egg cell. So what happens is stamen is a male reproductive structure consisting of the anther and the filament. So anther has the microsporangium or the pollen sac from where microspores are produced. Microspores are also called as the pollen grains, which has a tube nucleus as well as the generative nucleus. And the generative nucleus consisting of the male gametes. Only these two takes parts of the reproduction process. So the pollen grains, the whole pollen grains will be shed onto this sticky portion of the uh, gynoecium, that is the stigma. So the pollen grains will stick onto the stigma and it forms a pollen tube. And from the pollen tube, the male gametes are transferred to the one male gamete will be transferred to the egg cell and another male gamete will be transferred to the two polar nuclei. So the one which fuses with the polar nuclei forms the endosperm, which is triploid in nature, and the one which fuses with the egg cell, that it forms a zygote, and which forms the embryo. So this whole embryo sac develop into ovules are developed into seeds, as I previously mentioned in the lecture. So ovules, the matured ovules or fertilized ovules produces seed. Or you can define seed as a fertilized ovule. Inside the seed, so what is seed has the seed coats meant for protection for all the inner contents, and it has the embryo. So the endosperm, which is triploid in nature, it delivers the nutrition to the developing. It delivers nutrition to the embryo, and the embryo will germinate into a primule and radicle. Primule develops the upper portion of the plant, whereas the radicle develops the root structures. So let's see how many types of ovules are present. So first type is orthotropous ovule. In this case, Micropyle, chalaza, and Funiculus lie on the straight line, whereas in case of the anatropous ovule, the whole ovule is inverted to 180-degree, and the Micropyle and Funiculus is position. Micropyle is close to the Funiculus, okay, and it is mostly commonly seen in case of the angiosperms. You can you can put any example of the angiospermic plants. For example, Cutatum tomato, Cucurbitaceae family. Mostly these are about the dicotyledonous members. So for the orthotropous ovule, Piper polygonum and gymnosperms, you can in these plants you can see this kind of ovule. Okay. Campylotropous. So Campylotropous ovule means the body of the ovule is curved, and the Micropyle and the Funiculus is not on the straight line. Okay, the ovule is curved like structure. You can see this curve. So Campylotropous ovule, the body of the ovule is curved, and the Micropyle and Funiculus does not lie on the straight line. What are the examples for this kind of ovule? Legumes, for example, pea, and crucifer members, that is mustard. Okay. And the next type of ovule is the amphitrophous. So don't get confused with this Campylo and amphitrophous, because they are almost very similar. In case of amphitrophous ovule, the ovule is curved only, but here the embryo sac will be horseshoe shaped. Okay. Yeah. And what are the examples for this? Lemna, poppy, and mirabilis. Mirabilis is also called as 4 o'clock plant. So you can easily remember for the as an example for amphitrophous ovule. Lemna and poppy are the other two examples for this set. What is hemitropous ovule. In this case, the ovule is bent right angle to the funiculus. Right angles mean 90 degree. Okay, so the micropyle is 90 degree to the funiculus, and it lies horizontally. So you can see the micropyle and chalaza lies horizontally, but micropyle is right angles to the funiculus. That is called as the hemitropous ovule. Examples include ranunculus and primula. What is succinatropous ovule? Here the funiculus is very long and the body of the ovule is circled to form. The body of the ovule forms a complete circle with the micropyle facing upwards. Okay, the funiculus is very long and the body of the ovule, you can see that it is circle in nature. So you can see the micropyle is present in the upper portion of the ovule. What is the example for this? It includes the opuntia, a type of opuntia. You know that it belongs to the family Cactaceae, and it is a kind of a cactus. Okay, and other examples includes the Plambaginaceae members. So all these have the succinatropous kind of ovule. That's it, friends. I hope you have understood what is ovule and what are the structures of ovule and the types of ovule. So let us solve some of the MCQs regarding this topic. So in angiosperms, the functional megaspores gives rise to ovule, embryo, embryosac, endosperm. Which of the following shows double? I think you just go through this objective type of questions and try to answer it. If you have any doubts, please comment me or please leave your message in the comment box section, and I'll meet you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.